Are you looking to optimize your Instagram game to generate more leads that are absolutely free? Well, there's nobody better to teach you how to do that than my good friend, Chelsea Pietz. This video is from a recent recording of the Agent Rise Webathon. If you want more videos like this, along with all of the resources, make sure you text the word Agent Rise to 44222. Again, text Agent Rise, all one word, to 44222. So without further ado, here's my good friend Chelsea Pietz showing you how to optimize your Instagram game.
So first of all, just wanted to make sure that everybody has my Instagram handle since we are talking about Instagram and you might have questions. And if you want to send me any of your questions right here at any time, I will answer them always. I will always get back to you. Now, I do drop weekly Instagram trainings on my channel, my IGTV channel, and we're actually going to be talking about IGTV. So really excited to be talking about that. So let's go ahead and dive in. I wanted to focus on three areas for our time today to really help you optimize and maximize your performance on Instagram and how you're leveraging Instagram to go from likes to actually generate some leads. So the first thing that I want to talk about, oh, by the way, there's my book, What to Post. If you are interested in getting that book, it's on Amazon. The first thing that I want to talk about is what kind of account you might be using. And I want to talk about the business account, just to break down the accounts in general and how many accounts you could possibly have as far as different types of accounts. There are three different types of accounts on Instagram. You get started with the personal account. Everybody who opens up an Instagram account gets the personal. Now, the one benefit, if you do prefer to have a private lockdown account, you can do that with a personal account. If your goal is to build business and to build brand and to expand and attract as many people as possible through your Instagram account, I do not recommend having a personal private account. Because what happens when your account is private and somebody goes to check out your account, or maybe you follow that person with your private account and they go to check out yours and they can't see any information about you. They can't see your posts, they can't see your content. It is a barrier for people to refollow you back and connect with you. Now, there are some massive benefits to using the business account, which I'm going to dive into today. And then I'll give you just a little bit of color on the third account, which is called the creator account. So just as a review, you've got personal, you've got business, you've got the newer creator account. Now, I just want to relay or allay anyone's fears. When you hear business account, a lot of people think Facebook business page. And if you have a Facebook page, like I have a Facebook page, then you probably have also realized that the content that's going on that business page has been downranked some. So you're not getting as much reach as you used to get. First of all, a business account is nothing like a business page on Facebook. It's not setting up a completely separate account. You are turning on some switches to change your personal over to a business. So you won't have a personal and also a business account. This will be just your one account. Nobody but you and Instagram basically will know that you even switched it over. So it is not like a Facebook business page. There's no down ranking in the algorithm. It doesn't negatively impact anything. You don't have to go and get people to refollow and find your account, okay? It's also not a separate account, as I mentioned. Now, what are the benefits? Some incredible benefits are you get a one-click call to action button. You get a button that says contact that goes right on your profile. And I think of your Instagram profile as your website on Instagram. So if you've got people who are heavy Instagram users and they are in there all the time, your website is basically your profile. And they may not want to leave Instagram to connect with you. So giving them a way to easily click a button, because we all want one click on demand, they can either call you or they can email you directly with that button. Also, you have the direct message button. So there's a variety of ways for people to connect with you. But if I don't know you yet, I might not feel comfortable sending you a direct message. I might rather send you an email or a phone number. So this way, they don't have to look for it. They don't have to go to your website. They do not have to leave. Instagram or your profile to have that. You cannot get one of those with a personal. You have to have a business. The next important piece of it is you're going to get insights or analytics, data about how your content is performing. And this is really important because something that happened to me was I thought I was putting out content that people wanted to see. And what I learned was when I actually went into my insights and my analytics and my menu of my business account, I found that what I thought they wanted to see actually wasn't performing as well. And it turned out that every time I posted a picture with me in it, which I felt kind of weird about, I actually got more engagement. So I started posting more pictures of me and I started kind of crafting some of the content a little bit differently. You might need to look to see if short videos are outperforming just a static single image, or carousel posts when you're posting multiple photos. Just look for those themes that can give you some indication of what your audience might be resonating with more, and other ones that they might not. If every time you put a picture up with a sold graphic and it doesn't seem to get a lot of engagement, it might be time to take a look at maybe tweaking that and coming up with some different content. You won't know that unless you have a business account. The next thing too, if you're looking to do any kind of ads or retargeting, you need to have a business account. And I believe I have a slide coming up that kind of shows the power of some of the retargeting within Instagram that I think a lot of people really don't know about. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about that. You also get access to that swipe up feature. So we're going to talk about stories quite a bit in just a moment. But if you've seen somebody in the stories and they say swipe up so that you can go click this link or go to the website, you do have to have 10,000 followers first. But once you have those 10,000 followers, if you don't have a business account, you cannot get the swipe up. So it is very important for that as well. No negative impact like we talked about. And here's in red, you guys have to have a Facebook business page to connect to your business account in Instagram. So that is a prerequisite. So if you don't have a Facebook business page, you'll need to set one up in order to do this. The other thing that I have in red, which can be a little bit of a negative, is it is going to disconnect your auto cross posting of your stories. So if you are posting Instagram stories and you have the setting on where it's going to cross post to your Facebook stories, it's no longer going to do that because you now have a business account and it will only post to another business account. So it's now going to go from your Instagram stories over to your Facebook business page, not your Facebook personal profile. So those are a couple of things you should know about. So where do you go? You're going to go to your profile. You're going to access your settings menu. You'll look for the word account. When you click on that word account, it's going to bring you into another screen. And at the very bottom, you will see an option to switch to business or switch to professional. Okay. If you don't see that option, the good news is you already have a business account, which is awesome. Okay, so next thing I wanted to talk about is we talked about creator account, okay? So creator account is a newer account. If you already are a business account, you might want to try this out. It's kind of like a blend of personal meets business. And I really enjoy it because it simplifies the messaging inbox. If you get a lot of messages in your inbox, this might be something that you want to look into. Otherwise, it's pretty much just a business account. There isn't anything that's like massively different. I think eventually it probably will be different. The main differences are for people that are like influencers that are collaborating with brands and they need to have some sort of proof of that brand type of arrangement. I don't do any of that, so I'm not even using any of it. But you could see here what it will give you. It gives you some profile controls, simplified messaging, and growth tools. This is what you're going to be seeing when you click onto your account to switch from personal to business. So you might see down here, switch to professional account. That's the one you're going to want to do and follow the steps to switch it to a business. Now, once you have that business account, I mentioned here that you can actually retarget people if you wanted to actually do paid ads in Instagram. You may or may not know this, but you can actually retarget if you have a business account in Instagram. You can come into the Facebook Ads Manager because you build your Instagram ads in the same place that you build your Facebook ads. you can come into Facebook Ads Manager and you can create what's called a custom audience, which are people who have engaged with your Instagram business profile, whether they've liked a post, they've saved a post, they have sent you a direct message. All of those things can be put, all those people can be put into an audience, and then you can send them a future ad. So it does all the heavy lifting for you. So if you're not sure where that is, and you have been an ads manager, it's in the audience section, and it will be right under the Instagram business profile. Here's a drop down of what you can select from: everyone who's engaged with your business, anyone who's visited your business profile, people who've engaged with a post or an ad, people who've sent a message to your business profile, or people who have saved any post or ad. So it's a really great way, and I think often overlooked. People don't even think about maybe creating custom audiences from their Instagram account. So let's talk about stories. This is my favorite topic of the moment. Neil knows that I'm a huge stories fan, but I wanted to talk about how to elevate your Instagram stories. I think right now, especially, we are all creating normalcy and human connection and relatability. And I personally feel that Instagram stories is the best format for that, because it's human, it's a reality TV show almost of your life. This is an older stat. I bet it's probably higher than this now. TechCrunch reported that 1 out of 5 Instagram stories results in a direct message. I think it's probably 2 out of 5. But what does that mean? It means that by virtue of just putting something in this format and posting it, someone's going to reach out and talk to you, which is pretty darn awesome. And again, like we just talked about, if someone is sending your business account a direct message, you could put those people in the custom audience. 60% of Instagram users are creating stories on the daily basis. I just have this little picture in here. I wanted to show you how all the platforms are using stories now. On the left, you have Facebook. Then in the middle, you have YouTube. YouTube has stories. And then we've got Instagram. Instagram has stories. So pretty much everything is going the way of stories, and so is LinkedIn. February 26th of this year, they said they're testing out a new format, which happens to be stories. So now for sure is a really good time to be getting into stories. Now I know this is a lot to look at, so I made some arrows. The only things I want you to look at are these 2 arrows here. Up at the top, it shows, and this is from domo.com, that Instagram users are posting, let's just say 280,000. Let's just round it up. 280,000 Instagram stories every minute of the day. Every 60 seconds, we have 280,000 stories being made. Then if you look at the bottom arrow, I thought it was really interesting to see that Instagram users post 55,000 photos every minute. That's a really big difference of people making stories versus people posting in the feed. So you can see that there's been this massive exponential jump into that story format. And in my opinion, this is why. CRM. Camera first, meaning it's generally you talking to the camera most of the time. And when people see your face, their brain is activated, the neurons fire as if they're seeing you in person, and it is a trust accelerant. People start to feel like they know you and they're connected. And right now, when I haven't been able to leave my home, I still feel very connected to my friends because I'm able to see them on their Instagram stories and talk with them. So there is a very human element to being camera first. The next piece of it is that it's real time, meaning it's not live per se, but it's in like this 24-hour cycle. So you do feel like it's pretty real-ish time. You do feel like you are being invited into that person's story or into that person's life, that you're in there with them. And also lastly, message enabled. It is private one-to-one messaging. And I know right now a lot of us are wanting to reach out to people, past clients, current clients, and sometimes you may not know what to say. And the beauty of stories is that if you're posting a story about what's happening, you know, on anything in any part of your given day, and your message chat is open, you're inviting people to talk to you. So now you can actually, if you don't know what to say, watch someone's story and talk to them about what they have put into into their post, or what's new in their lives. So I think that's a really easy way. And of course, it's personal, right? It's not a public comment. So those are really important. The opportunity is definitely here in stories. It's not saturated yet, more so in Facebook stories. So if you haven't been doing Facebook stories, now is the time to jump in there. Ads are a bit of a challenge, which is good for us because it means we have a better user experience for now. Organic reach is still possible, meaning you can get some free branding. You can have conversations with people very easily through the direct message. You can see who's watching, which is so awesome because when I do a Facebook Live, I have no idea who's actually watching my Facebook Live. The only way that I know is if somebody leaves a comment or a share. But I can actually look at anyone who's viewed my story, and there's big power in that. It's private direct messaging, which is one of the easiest ways to brand and prospect. Now, certainly during these times, we want to be very conscientious. We want to be reaching out and asking people how they are, how you can serve them, being helpful, offering value. You can't totally outsource it, in my opinion, because it's about you and your face and your brand, which I think is a great thing, because Nike pays millions of dollars to borrow someone's face because they know how important that is. So it is a really good way for you to be relatable and human. We are getting very trained for it. We are getting very used to it, which means the more we get used to it, the more we start to expect to see it. And we start to wonder why you might not be showing up there. Okay, so let me give you some pro tips on how to elevate your Instagram stories. First thing, add some text. And I don't mean you have to have captions or verbatim of everything that you're talking about in the video, but a lot of people will watch stories without sound on, or some people may not be able to hear the sound. So it's important to give them a bit more context and increase your engagement opportunities by adding a little text. Here's an example. I could shoot a quick little video about my new Netflix series I'm watching. And if I just added the name of the series that I'm watching, well, a couple of words right there, somebody might see it and they might actually engage with me, whereas they maybe wouldn't have before because they just saw the video of my face and just kept tapping. So adding text to your stories will help increase that engagement. Now, there's no magic number of how many times to post in a 24-hour period. I have 3 to 7 down here because that's coming from several research reports that came out from some social media outlets that said, 3 to 7 is kind of where people's attention is before they sort of fall out of attention. But I will say, if you love what you're doing and you're passionate about your stories, I don't want it to feel like this black and white must be one post every 2 hours. Have fun with it. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be human. I do believe that it's better to post throughout the day versus just, 3 times at like 7 p.m. at night. And sometimes the hardest part is remembering to get your phone out. I do also recommend kind of mixing up the content in and of itself and also the formats. So for example, maybe I'll do some videos, then I'll do maybe a photo or a funny meme or a GIF. So I have like a moving image and then a still image, and I don't think too much about it, but I do try to mix it up a little bit. Sometimes our brains get bored if we see the same exact thing for a bunch of frames. Another idea is to maybe you do something educational tip, 2 educational tips, and then you do something that's sort of entertaining or funny. So I do mix it up because I think our brains, and with that micro content moving so quickly, people, and like we don't even realize it, our brains sort of like to see different things and different content. You can also use location and hashtag stickers in your stories, and those might help you get more views because what happens within Instagram is they will look at these stickers and they will sort you or possibly serve you into a larger group story that might also be using those stickers. And if Neil came and searched for the hashtag real estate and was looking at the group story, my story could potentially show up in there. And if he liked it or wanted to find out more about me, he could tap on my name, go to my profile, and potentially follow me. So you might notice if you're using location stickers or hashtag stickers that when you look at your view count, it might spike up on that particular story frame because you've used one of those. So it is a way to sort of increase some of those views. Love engagement stickers. Highly recommend that you all try them out and have fun with them. I believe there's a total of 4 or 5 in the sticker menu. The most common ones are polls and question stickers, a great way to increase engagement. And the question stickers I love because someone can type in their response or their question, and then you get to see on the back end of the story, you can see how many people gave feedback or asked questions. And then you can click reply. So it almost is a conversation starter. You can even go into a deeper conversation in the DMs from those question stickers. Definitely also pro tip. You can share content from the feed to your story. So if Neil posted about this amazing webathon today, I might want to share that feed post he did in the Instagram feed to my story. And I always recommend that if you're going to share something from the feed to your story, or you're going to share an IGTV video from IGTV to your story, give people a reason to go there. Tell them what is going to be in it for them. To give them like a tidbit, like 2 reasons, or just a little, tease to entice them. Because some people may share a post and maybe it's just a picture, and they don't have any idea that what the caption would be about or why they'd want to go there. Also recommending sharing IGTV and feed posts to stories. I just have down here Gary V. He said, document, don't create. That's just a little bit easier, I think, to release the mindset of always having to like create some content. Just, capture your day, what you did. Maybe a quick story, a picture of you in this webinar today, and, tagging Agent Rise. So that's an easy way to document. I just have some visuals. These are the poll stickers, the question stickers. You guys have probably seen those. You can even write in a little call to action. This is the sharing, just so you guys can see what it looks like. If you hit the paper airplane, you can actually share your post to your story. All right, so I wanted to finish up with just a quick few tips on Instagram TV. Instagram is definitely pushing IGTV right now, meaning you're gonna get more reach by leveraging IGTV because they really want to get more adoption rates going on. So it is a little unusual that you have to actually download the IGTV app. Once you download it and follow these 3 easy steps and it connects to your Instagram, think of this like YouTube for Instagram. So you just heard Karen talk about YouTube. This is like Instagram's version of YouTube, longer form videos. You download the app, you connect it to your Instagram. Everyone you follow on your Instagram, you're already following over there on IGTV. Now, I just want to show you guys a couple of tips because I get a lot of questions about how to optimize your IGTV videos. You can go up to 10 minutes, by the way. I don't recommend going up to 10 minutes unless you have really good content, but I highly recommend over a minute. And there's a reason I'm saying over a minute, okay? You want to do over a minute, and I prefer vertical because it was really intended to be full screen vertical. But hey, if you have YouTube videos or Facebook Live videos that are horizontal, those work too. They just look a little bit smaller, but when you tilt the camera or the phone over, it's full screen. Now, where do we upload? Because this has moved. So if you used to do IGTV and it's been a while, guess what? They moved it on ya. So let's pretend we have a 3-minute video. I shot it on my phone. It's in my camera roll. I want to upload it to IGTV. Upload like you would a normal Instagram post. Tap on the plus sign, like you're going to do a picture, and select your video from your camera roll. It's going to know that your video is longer than a minute. And if it's longer than a minute, it's going to give you this option where the arrow is, long video. Share the full length video to IGTV. A preview can be shared to both your profile and also the feed, okay? It's already set for you. So you're gonna click continue, so you're in the right place. Now here's what it looks like. when you're uploading your video. So on the left-hand picture, this is where you're going to select your cover photo, like the tile of where it's going to be showing. And I don't know if Karen talked about the importance of a cover photo on YouTube or a thumbnail. Same rules apply. I don't recommend selecting a picture like this one that's just out of the video itself. If you look at the bottom of the screen on this the example, do you see it has a plus sign that says add from camera roll? I go to Canva and I make a quick, simple cover photo. I use the Instagram stories template, the sizing, and I just do words, simple, so people know they can read exactly what I'm going to talk about in that video. I upload it as a cover photo. So my first pro tip is make a cover photo, okay? Now, when we look over here on the information, you can fill in a title. So give your video a title. You wanna fill in the description. This is where your hashtags go. This is just like the captions in your feed posts. You guys, you can add links. You can add links. Don't forget that. You can add a link. So you could link out to a landing page or wherever you want to send people. It is so valuable because you cannot add links to a feed post caption, but you can here. So that's important. The next arrow you're seeing is you can add any video to a series. This is kind of like a playlist in YouTube. So if you have 3 or 4 videos about the loan process, and then you have 3 or 4 videos about the neighborhood, you could create a series for the neighborhood and one for the loan process, and it kind of groups everything together, and then it will allow that person to sort of watch all of those videos on it. The next thing in red, this is the important part. You want to make sure you toggle this on. If you've never done an IGTV video before, it's probably toggled off. Once you turn it on, it's the default going forward. But this is where you get the most reach because you're telling Instagram, yes, I want you to post a short preview in the main feed, and it's going to give a little call to action to people watching it in the main feed that says, hey, watch the rest of this IGTV video. So that's got to be on. You only get that activated if you have a video longer than a minute. That's why I say it needs to be longer than a minute. And then just the last 2 things here, you can actually edit both the preview, the little tile that's going to be on your video. You can also edit and adjust the profile cover. So those are my 3 main tips: is getting into your business account, making sure that you have everything ready, also working on your Instagram stories, being visible, being there, connecting with people, documenting, not creating, showing the behind the scenes, and then IGTV. I don't see enough of it out there, and Instagram is really pushing it. So maybe think about rotating in maybe once a week a video post that you can upload to IGTV.
Awesome. You are so awesome. We've got a couple questions here, and then I'm going to bring David on in just a couple minutes. And so the first question is, what are your thoughts about some IG stories that extend into several frames? Is that okay?
Yes. Okay. So really good tip on that. Sometimes if you're giving, really good educational tip, that's going to happen. You're going to need to go into multiple frames. So what my tip is on that is, if you know that it's going to go longer than 15 seconds, I still try to keep it at about 15 seconds. And so I might be saying, whatever I'm saying here, it hits the 15 seconds. And then I try to move it. So another thing that happens with our brains is that if we see the same exact thing and nothing's moving, which is why TV shows have 2 cameras and it's like constantly going back and forth, and seeing different people's faces, it's a trick to keep your brain engaged. So do try to, I know it sounds weird, but change your angle a little bit, as you're doing that. And adding text will help too, because people can't help but read. But yeah, it is a little bit harder to keep people engaged if it's just sort of like 6 frames of the talking head in the same position.
All right. Another one, Christian wrote, my numbers for IGTV video watches is way lower than my IGDG stories. Even when I share my IGTV episodes as stories. What do you think the reason is for that?
It could be a couple of different things. It could be the topic. It could be that, which I think is probably more the reason, is that IGTV just hasn't caught on as much yet. And people on Instagram were used to this, scrolling. And when it first came out, they were like, "Whoa, we're not going to watch a long form video on Instagram. That's crazy." So I think that it's still very new and early in the stages, and they have made some good improvements, but it's nowhere near, say, like a YouTube where it's highly searchable and you can search for hashtags, all that. It's not quite there yet. So it's probably more so that, and just getting people used to watching it, but it might also depend on the content, and your particular audience. If you have a lot of people that are maybe out of state, and if you're just showing like listing properties, it just depends on what the content is too.
Okay. Are IG live videos available to display after the live part?
So you can download them and save them. I guess the answer is sort of like no. You can download them and save them, or you can add to your story for 24 hours. But I did recently read in Jen Herman's Facebook group that there was an article that got published saying that they were testing the ability to have an IG live, once it's no longer live, post to as an IGTV video, which would be awesome. So that would be great. I am hoping that they do that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. There's a bunch of other questions that just keep coming in right now. So if you wouldn't mind,
Yeah.
chatting away, that'd be great. Thank you so much. You're the best.